Hey everyone, this is the Trader Investor coming to you on Thursday morning, live market analysis, live because the markets have already opened. And so let's start with SPY today. SPY is having a strong day, it's gapping up, but there are a few things I want to look at before I consider positions on either side, high side for call or low side for puts. Either side, I want to look at that. So first thing I'm looking at is the high. It's the all-time high is 425.46. That's, going back to June 15th is when we tagged it. And as you can see, we've had a strong move up. We had a significant pullback, but then we're resuming from that pullback. The significant pullback came after FOMC minutes, but then the market shrugged it off and continued its upward movement. So I'm looking at this all-time high, 425.46 area. So that's what we're looking at, and it was also the high of last week. So we have it, at least on my chart, I have it marked as the high of last week. So right now what I want to see is price will push up, will test it as a support and continue its upward movement. That's one way to enter it. Or price will get a rejection here with an upside down pin bar. If we get this, then this is a rejection for me. It's a strong rejection. Then my target would be the highs of yesterday. This would be my target, because making a new high on a wick is really not making a new high. Of course it would be the new high, but if we don't close above it and if we're struggling, then the most likely scenario is we're going to close this gap. We're going to close this gap because we have an imbalance. We have an imbalance right here. So, and ironically, the midpoint of that imbalance is the high of yesterday. And before I even drew the imbalance, this is where my arrow stopped, right? This is where I said I was targeting. So beautiful. Now that we know what we are targeting, if we measure from any entry to our target, if we get a dollar move, then fantastic, we are good to go. So this is what we are really looking at today. Now of course we don't know yet, so we only trade what we see. We don't trade what we want to see. That's why it's always a good idea to wait for the markets to do what they need to do. First 15 minutes is my be patient zone. And then right now, if price closes below the 15-minute range, I am still targeting this highs. Now it's going to be a little bit tricky, because if this is the low, then we don't have the distance, right? So the reason why I say it's tricky is because what I would like price to do is close, go below it, go back maybe to VWAP, and give us that dollar entry, right? This is what I'm looking for. That's why I said it's going to be tricky. This is how I'm looking at SPY. And the Qs are just cranking, right? Qs are just cranking because Qs keep making new highs. Qs keep making new highs. Now when we break the 15-minute range, I'm going to watch what the SPYs are doing before I jump into the Qs, because again, Qs could do this but immediately reverse. So I want to be just a little bit cautious, and if I see an upside down pin bar, an evening star, railroad tracks, any form of strong candlestick patterns that suggest a reversal, then that's what I'm going to look at as an entry. And down here, if we break it here, I want to see reverse enough to where I have a dollar move to yesterday's high. This is what I'm going to look for in the Qs. IWM strong move up to some areas of support. I don't do a lot of lines here, but this is a strong area of support. We've been there quite a few times, and so is that where we could potentially head to as our leading indicator? Is it showing weakness to come down? I don't have that dollar move down, but I have this signal as my leading indicator. So if IWM is starting to head down and SPY gives you that pin bar up here, beautiful entry for a put position, right? Even though the IWM doesn't give you that dollar space to play with, you have that space in SPY. So that's how I like to look at them together. That's the purpose. Diamonds pretty strong. We have a trend line here that I'm shooting for 341 to about 340 to 60. So there's about a dollar move if it breaks above. Again, I'm going to watch what IWM does. I'm going to watch what the SPYs do, because if there's some headwind in those two names, then diamonds could also collapse. So far, I mean, this is a pretty strong day, right? 0.78, 0.58, 0.71. That's a pretty good increase for one day in these ETFs. The broader markets are doing great, but I am not really trying to rush in the diamonds. I want to see what the SPYs do as they approach the highs of last week, the all-time highs. IWM, as IWM approaches some areas of resistance, I'm going to watch those. So patience is good. Like if you look at SPY yesterday, not a very big tradable day in my style of trading. If you do 2-minute charts, if you do 1-minute charts, maybe even 5-minute charts, it might have given you some opportunities based on your trading style, like hitting this double tops here, showing you some strengths to the downside. There are some opportunities, but in my style, I'm not monitoring, I'm not babying 2-minute charts. Therefore, I just stick to my 15 minutes that I can put to the side as I do my work, and I can enter. But more importantly is I want to see where price goes in relation to these all-time highs. This is how I'm looking at the market for now. So that's our analysis for today. I will come back and do another one once the market's closed and I see some significant thing to report. Alright everyone, take care for now, and I'll see you in the next video.